What's happening? What's happening? Can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me? Hello? Hello? Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a minute. You know, I'm eating in front of y'all because y'all would think there's something wrong if I wasn't eating in front of y'all. The #1 amateur YouTube channel is back because every YouTuber should eat in front of his audience. It shows you that we're human, or that we work fucking too much. And then, yeah. What else is up? So, like the title says, Bitcoin's dead, crypto's dead, DEPIN's dead. So, let's talk fishing. I don't know. I don't know where y'all live at. So if it's anything to do with freshwater fish, I can't help you. Last time I went saltwater fishing, it wasn't too bad. I really wanted to start off, but I knew somebody would be offended. I really wanted to start off with, it's been a wild 2 days. If y'all have been watching my Discord, I have fully stuck my whole nose in the cocaine bag again. It is truly an addiction. I really wanted to start off the live today with white powder. Literally, I was going to put white powder on my nose, but somebody will get effing, change the echo. Y'all don't need the echo. All right, let's try that again. I really wanted to start off with some white powder all over my nose. Like I stuck my whole face in a bag of cocaine, but somebody will get offended. Because anytime I do any kind of joke like that, somebody, whether or not it's the audience today or in my Discord or in a comment next week, somebody will be offended. But I knew better than to dive back in. And I did. And I am back day trading. And if you follow this channel for some time now, I told you that years ago I was into day trading and I'd get cocky and lose my ass off. And what happens normally is I'm very careful at first, timing it just perfectly that I get some decent returns. In the past, I used to use KuCoin years ago when that was actually allowed in the United States. And what would happen is I would the most you could do with KuCoin back then in the United States was 5%. So I would do a 5% leverage, safe, and I would hit. I'd get cocky. I'd feel like there was something wrong if I wasn't currently in a trade. I would try to look for shit that wasn't there. And I'll never forget, I went into Luna Classic, did not set a stop loss, and got fucking liquidated out of more money than I would ever admit, and my wife knows about. And it wasn't too bad because it was all money that I made during the trading. And the initial money came from either money I was mining, because back then you made money mining with ASICs and stuff like that. And I got liquidated for thousands. And I literally cold turkey walked away from it and said, I'm never doing this shit again. And then yesterday, talking to somebody about a DEPIN project that possibly rugged and stuff like that, he said, man, I'm not effing with any more DEPIN. This is what I'm doing. And he showed me what he was making with Bitcoin and some other things. And I'm like, maybe just a little taste. Just a little taste. It won't be that bad. And I was hitting. I showed y'all in the Discord. I was hitting. I was at a hand meeting last night. I couldn't tell you one damn thing they said. I had my laptop in there, and I closed that trade out. I was up $350 or whatever. And then you start getting cocky. Then today it's like there's no movement in the price, and you want to, and then you lose $10 here, and you lose $10 here. Then I made up $25 on a Luna Classic, closed it out, and I'm like, well, let me see if I can hit another $25. Lost 15, and I'm like, shit. But I'm still up. I'm still up because, that I had a couple of wins in a row. Then I had a $350 win in a row or whatever. And it's cool because what somebody asked before about KYC and stuff in US. Look, I don't know how this shit works. I can just tell you that Tyler, I tell you all the time I watch Tyler. Tyler's always talking about BitUMX because you don't need the, you don't need any kind of KYC or anything like that. You don't need to register or anything like that. So I joined it, and it says, unless you're trying to remove like 10 grand or some shit, which it's not going to be me, you okay not to KYC. Now I do want to do a test withdrawal just to try to get, $100 back out. But I changed my security settings today, and once you change security settings, you can't move you can't do anything for 24 hours. So you're going to have to wait till tomorrow. But I'd like to make sure I get $100 out before I keep doing this. But I say that, but I've been trying to time the Bitcoin thing, but like you said, it's going sideways. It's hard. Last night you had that dip. I mean, we all saw it. Bitcoin just freaking was going down, and it was like you're watching that number go up. And I probably could have wrote it out a little bit more, but I didn't. I kept saying, if I get to 200, I'm gonna stop. If it gets to 300, I'm gonna stop. Wherever exactly it stopped at. It was crazy. I don't think I even shared my win last night. Let me see. I took a picture of it while I was at the hand meeting before I walked away. $335. Shorted it for the 50x, 88%. And I didn't even like use all my money because I was so scared, and it could have been more. And so you get cocky. And now it's like, if I'm not in the trade, like right now, it's in the middle of this, like I'm off tomorrow. I have to burn $100 of vacation before July 1st, which I'm not gonna get done. But I took off like every Monday and Friday. And I know I'm gonna be sitting here watching all three of these screens tomorrow, trying to mess with this shit. And even though really I need to just walk away. But Luna Classic was crashing earlier. So this is when I made that money earlier. Then I tried to jump in another one around here, and then got stomped out right here. Because the thing about mine is, because I've learned my lesson, I put very short stop losses, like $5 loss. I'm shutting it down. And that's the problem. I don't give it the chance to swing, because as you can see, if I would have rode it out, I would have ended up better. But, but then if I would have started one here, I would have got stomped out here, because I'm not going to risk losing 30, 40, $50, $100 to try to rod shit out. So I need to just step back and realize while this shit's going sideways. Now, you know, some people telling me how they're running this shit for like, you know, looking at the 1 hour and the 4 hour charts and all that. But even on a 1 hour chart, you can see Bitcoin is leveled out. Yesterday was just a good time to rod it. I mean, that's the 4 hour. Even the 4 hour has come. You ain't doing nothing right now with it sideways. That's the 4 hour. But even like I said, even 4 hours flattened out. Yeah, I am fully back on the cocaine, man. It's. I guess I shouldn't say that because somebody's going to take an excerpt to that or something. But so anyway, Bjorn, what's happening, man? The bullish bear. So are we in a bull market or a bear market? The bullish bear. He should know. Crons are eating pasta. Emily says, "Hey, bestie, talk fishing." Whoa. Wisconsin. That's crypto is a scam. You said it every week, dude, but you're still in here and you're still in these projects. So don't act like you're not. Kronzer, I'm in Mass Chain because I have some devices like this left over. I have some of these still left. I just need to get an antenna, and you're online with Mass Chain. Full disclosure, after I actually did a Monday video for y'all. I know that's why we got a near hurricane coming tomorrow, and I can't do any tower climbs. I mean, this weekend. But Mass Chain has reached out to me and is sending me one of their, and I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask to demo it. They're telling me they're not expecting anything in return, just because I was one of the, you know, early people who got behind the project, because I did do some videos telling y'all how to set it up, and I've kind of helped, you know, push some people to that thing as a gift. They want me to have one of the new mass nodes, and look, I'm cool with trying it out. I'll test it out. It's supposed to come with an antenna, and I just gotta go online. They gave me a coupon, and the only thing I'm responsible for is any kind of tariffs or anything like that, which I'm cool with that. I was supposed to set this up in Grand Isle over the last weekend, but it was so freaking hot. There was no wind. I set up a new Wingbits station. Actually, I was moving from one of my other host locations. He moved, so I took the host location back. I told you I was trying to pull almost all my. In theory, I'm sick of dealing with host and host agreements and what's the percentages and dealing with this percentage shit from Wingbits. I wouldn't mind pulling them all back, but now I realize I ain't got a place to put them at down here. So my buddy let me set one up in Grand Isle on the other side of the island from where I currently have one. It's good. It gets to see way far out in the ocean. But while I was there, I'm like, I'm gonna take my stuff with me to set up a Mass Chain, but I had problems getting the one online. My other one in Grand Isle was offline. It's in a room. It was 90 degrees outside. There's no circulation. The room is outside. I was dying, and you know what? I was like, this Mass Chain, I'm not dealing with this weekend. But I am planning on adding a Mass Chain down in Grand Isle because it's right there in the Gulf. Where am I going to put the mass node at? I haven't really decided yet. Since it is an all kind of self-contained unit and stuff, I kind of want to think of a good spot for it. But you know, right now I got one of my buddy's tower and got some very, very good range. So it's booming, and you know, I just to be real with y'all, that doesn't mean that I think DEPIN is coming back or anything like that. Uh, I've made it no secret that I am not overwhelmingly happy with what the Wingbits price is. I don't think Wingbits can control that. I mean, they were doing some buyback and burning, but we can't expect that to happen. I mean, to happen every day. Eventually, at some point, it was going to stop. There's no set schedule, and I can understand there being no set schedule, because if they sat here and said, "Hey, June 1st, we're going to go and do another big burn, buyback and burn," well, all the whales are going to sit there and hold their token, waiting for the buyback, and then dump their tokens. So while I know there's not going to be a set schedule, I am wondering, how long is it going to be? I just wish they would give us a time range. Hey, we're going to do it once a month. We're just not going to tell you when it's going to happen. It's going to be every 2 months. Hey, we're not signing any more contracts until New Year's, and we're not doing any buybacks until New Year. I'd like to know that, because while I don't want to dump on y'all, I am very worried about this price. This is mass chain. So as you can see, my two stations are representing. I mean, even though the station's here, it's actually picking up this far. So Grand Isle down here would actually do very well. If I wish I knew somebody around here, that would be great. I'm gonna have to really try to reach out to somebody, because getting this Mississippi River stuff would be awesome, because Mississippi River is all 2x bonuses. So I'm getting 2x bonuses now from here. I do have a buddy that lives here, but the problem with him is he lives kind of inland a little bit and doesn't have a lot of height, so I don't think that would work. But if depending on where y'all live at, if you live in the area that has a 2x and you happen to have the parts needed, not financial advice, but I would take a chance on it. Again, am I expecting big returns? No. If Wingbits can't give me now, and let me say, I hate to be all over the place on this, but I'm not gonna sit and tell you I'm not making anything with Wingbits. I'm trying to remember what I deposited this morning. And I'm not depositing every day, but I'm depositing about every 4 or 5 days, and I might have put in like 11,000 tokens maybe, which is probably about $40 worth. So, but that's also because I had 15 stations for years, and it's those bonuses. What's going to happen after them bonuses are done? I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when it comes. I think a lot of people are going to cross that bridge when it comes. But I'm going to tell you, I read up. I know I'm all over the place, guys. You're going to have to just bear with me. It's been a long day. But again, let's finish up with Mass Chain. If you have a 2x spot, I would really consider, again, I'm just being honest. Like the guys are nice to me. I appreciate the free station, but y'all know I'm being honest with y'all. Buying any project that has a $600 or $1,100 station, I keep telling y'all, unless you're really into that project, it's gonna be like we keep saying, unless you're really, really into that project and you really have a lot of faith in that project and you're okay with breaking even in about a year, but making some returns, I know some people who said that, hey, I'm taking money out of something I made money with this over here, whether it's trading, whether it's other projects and stuff, and I'm taking that money and putting it into buying a station for this project. Kind of like that's the kind of games I play, um, even like Entropy. I think I might have spent $150 is the most I spent on Entropy, and that's when I gave it to one of the guys in here who happened to be going to New York to buy a whatever the hell them things are called, Ashlers, because I wanted to be one of the first ones, and he was going to stand in line. And other than that, that's all really the expenses I had. I've sold all off my Entropy, all of it except the original station. If y'all watched my video the other day, I showed y'all what I had in my wallet back in 18 months ago in October. I'm 24 and I had like, I don't know what it was, $1,200. And I only had like, what was it, 3 million tokens? Now I got, I forget, I mean, I got shitload of more tokens, millions and millions and millions, and it's only worth $100. That's disgusting. And if I was smart, I would just take that and just roll it into Solana. I'm telling you right now, when Solana, if I see Solana getting down into the 60s, low 60s, you're going to watch me converting a lot of these fucking projects, a lot of these projects to Solana, just flipping them. If you follow in my Discord, we talked about helium. Helium, they got all kinds of shit going on. I'm so sick of hearing about noise. Yeah, they're making noise. They're down 17% in 24 hours. I have over 1,000 helium tokens. I've told you all that before. I sold a third of them yesterday when this was still in the 60s. I did not know this went to 60 something percent. I don't know where I was for that, but yeah, this was in the 60, 64, 65 cents, and I sold a third of my tokens, put it strictly as USDC. And my plan is when Solana gets down to the low 60s, because I still think it's coming. You know, Bitcoin goes in the 50s. I can see Solana getting down into this 60 range. Low 60s, I'm sorry. Low 60s, high 50s. My USDC sitting there, a couple $100 worth, and I'm just gonna throw it into Solana. Depending on how much I sell, and I'm probably gonna do it with a chunk of my Wingbits. And I hate to say it, but I'm probably gonna do it with Wingbits a lot sooner than I really wanted to, because again, I'm gonna make sure I say this slowly so everybody understands. I'm still 100% behind this project. Reading up a lot about this project today and the AI and the different people commenting on it, I think the future is very bright for Wingbits, the project. But I have a feeling this slow bleed is just going to continue. It's sad. I'm very upset about it. I'm not going to mince any words. You know, I saw this 5 earlier, and I'm like, oh, it's back up to 5. No, it's 0036. And majority of it is bots and whales. You know, you got 2 or 3 bots or whales or whatever you want to call it, bonding curves, whatever it is that they're explaining it to me. That just keep buying and buying and selling and selling. And whoever this is with this X on this last name, on the last letter, he buys when the price gets down low enough. He buys $250, $250, $250, $250, $250, and he pumps that price up. And I guess people start getting momentum in there. And then he sells and crashes the price. And he's been doing that over and over and over. I mean, look at all these little sales. This is all the same. This is all the same wallets. This one with the Q on the end, there's one with the H on the end. QHC. That's what I'm saying. It's and I think actually I watched a video earlier today that said that they think this is what this and meme coins, this kind of action like this. I feel like this is the same wallet. He has bought 37 grand worth of, and he's down. I don't know. What else we talking about? 12 people here. Make sure you hit the like button. Can you check Lima, Peru and see the multiplier? Listen, there's a part of me, like I keep telling y'all, I think I'm going to chug water at some point. Just to effing say I did it. I'm going to go visit all 7 streets and chug water. Go have a hamburger. I actually belong to the Chugwater Facebook page. Um, I've tried to reach out to several hams there about putting a device up that I would even pay them to put it up just so we can get this joke over with. And I don't get a response back. They probably think I'm a scammer or some shit, even though I give them my ham QRZ page and the YouTube channel page and all the stuff like that. They might not have internet yet. I don't know. SpaceX, but Fidelity stupid. Has SpaceX, has it actually launched yet? Like the token, not the, whatever you want to call it, the stock. Um, but they got a space token, SpaceX. Look at that. Y'all bear with me while I enter a short in here. I guess it's too late to short. That's the one day. See, that's what I'm telling y'all. If y'all came in late, I told the story on how I used to do all this trading. I'm not even showing you on the screen. I used to do all this trading and stuff years ago, and I lost my ass off after a bunch of wins and a bunch of wins, and I got cocky and I put a whole bunch of money into Luna Classic on the short and got liquidated because I didn't do stop loss, lost thousands. And if anybody knows my wife, please don't ever tell her that. But it was all out of rewards, or whatever you want to call it, wins that I had. So it didn't technically come out of my checking account. And I had to walk away from it. Like I was addicted. I would call in to work and sit in front of 3 or 4 screens and have somebody on YouTube streaming at the same time. And I was addicted to this shit. And I walked away. And then yesterday, somebody hit me up on Discord and said, man, DEPIN sucks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, what are you getting into then? And he's like, man, I just started doing this daily trading with shorts and shorting Bitcoin and all these other ones. And he had shorted from 80 something thousand Bitcoin. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, let me just get a little taste, just a little taste. I'm not going to go all out, just a little taste. And next thing you know, this is all I did all night last night, even during my ham meeting. And I made $300 something on the short on Bitcoin. And then today I've been trying to try to get it back, just try to make a little more, just a little more. And I keep getting stomped out, but I'm setting very, very, very tight stop losses. I'm not going to get in the bond like I did before. Like I set up a $10 loss when I'm entering into a trade. And I'm get stomped out because it doesn't have a chance to, it doesn't go straight down and I'm not getting enough wiggle room. But the problem is I'm not going to add a big stop loss because I ain't getting stomped out. But this might be I'm starting to itch. Starting to itch. H&T would have been a great thing to, and if I knew about the news today, I shared it today in my Discord about H&T. If I knew that was going to happen, I would have shorted that shit too. Amir, after dropping, after after driving that bus at 300 miles an hour into the wall, decides I'm just going to step down from helium. Hey man, if you should have just stuck with IoT from the beginning, we were all making a killing. And down 18% in 24 hours. Look, you can't even short helium anymore on this on here. But yes, Amir is stepping away from helium. I know a lot of y'all have your roots in helium, including me. I broke this news earlier from X on my Discord, and Artex responds. The market responds. Yes, sir, it did. Yes, sir, it did. Funky said he's dealing with Hallowave. I got a code if anybody is interested in Hallowave. I'm not joining the project. Again, I'm going to say that straight up. I know some of y'all like to always play with the new projects coming out. I do have a code if y'all want a couple percentage off buying a Hallowave in the comments below. That's on y'all. Again, not financial advice. I have no idea what's going to happen with the project. I know Osvaldo from the Osvaldo YouTube page. He's a co-founder in that. He asked me to share it with y'all. He gave me a discount code. You know, hey, if you use it, it helps the project, but I don't know basically anything more about it other than that. So, you know, I told Funky is hungry to you know, he got one of the first units to let us know. And you know, now you have to play this game is, do you sell, now that I sold a third of my tokens, do you just sell another third of my, half of what I got left? Because it seems I'm always playing this game with helium. Like, I just wanted to go back to $10. No, I just wanted to go back to $5. Please just go back to $5. Or just, can you go back to $2? You know, when it's $1, go back to $2. And now I'm playing like, just go back to $1. And I really, does anybody have faith that there's a new company running it that was announced like 2 or 3 days ago? Noble Mobile bought out the mobile section. So does that mean helium itself is just running IoT now and that's it? Like, is this the end of the end? Has it already been the end? I don't, out of 30 stations, I think I might have 4 or 5 left. It's just because they're in locations I really can't get to easily. But eventually I'm going to want my layered, $300 layered antennas off of them for mesh core. So eventually I'm going to get to them. You know, what sucks is a bunch of them are Bobcats that you can't do absolutely nothing with. They're not even good as door stops because they're too light. Artex is buying. Artex, are you really buying? All jokes aside, again, I'm gonna ask this question for everybody else in here. This is not financial advice, what Artex says. But Artex, are you really buying more helium? Like, I just gotta know. Like, I hate to call you out in front of everybody in the class, but are you really buying more helium at this point? I have to know. You know, you stuck with the entropy too. I'm stuck with entropy. Let me see how much entropy I got. I don't want to lie to y'all. Let's see. $33.22 entropy is what I got left. Worth $137. And I think what's the saddest thing is, no, I can't say that. What's sad is that, again, like I showed in that video, that 3 million years, 2 years ago, or whatever it was, a year and a half ago, was worth $1,000, $1,100. I know for a fact my wallet was up to $3,000 at one point. I know for a fact. I thought I screenshot to send to somebody, but I can't find it. It is worth $137 right now. What's also sad, I won't say the most sad, what's also sad is I remember when the NFTs were going for 2 and 3 Solana. And this is when Solana was $150, $175 a piece, maybe more. I couldn't remember it being like around 200, but don't quote me on that. The snake NFTs that I had were going for like 3.5, 4 Solana. And I'm like, I'm a holdout. That's my number one problem. I just want to hold out. I can't sell them right now for literally $25 a piece. Can't sell them. I want to sell them, and then I'm leaving as Solana. Like, when I sell them, they're gonna sell as what, Solana? Who does I think they do? and I can't sell them. Like, it's the fuck happened to this project? You know, hey, it's a meme coin. We all kept saying we didn't know what the hell was going to happen, but it's entropy. It's and look, I know majority of y'all don't agree with this, but the guys are cool. I don't have any problems with the guys. I've always said I'd love to go have some drinks with them, even though I know I could never keep up with them because they're some wild cats. But yeah, man. 0.16, 0.178 Solana. $12. Can't even sell them for $12. That's my one wallet that I have. Let's see, it's this wallet. You'll bear with me. I'm getting somewhere. I promise. These are the ones I got for sale. This one's supposed to be some kind of rare one, so I put that one as one Solana just for the hell of it. But so right now I'm trying to sell them for 357. 0357, 0357. $24.50. Can't sell them. That's sad. There was an instant sell, wasn't there? What's the instant sell doing? 0.099. 0.099. You've had 4 that sold in the last 24 hours. 0.2, 0.2, 0.1, 0.4. Look, a 0.4 snake. Right now, I'll be happy to sell for $27. Well, that's not even $27 in my pocket because Maiden, whatever it's called, gets their shit. I'll sell you my stake tokens. Why not just hold, what's that? What part? The ETFs for $50? I'm trying to get 20. I got 5 of them. Give me 20 each. That's $100. Flipping into Solana at 60 something dollars. Tell you, like, I agree with some of the sentiment on YouTube. This is not financial advice. You know, I keep saying that 1,000 times because I'm just so worried I'm gonna hear people shit. But I agree with the sentiment on YouTube where people who know way more than me. I don't ever see us having an alt season again. Does anybody disagree with that? Like, even if we have in 3 years another really big bull market for Bitcoin because of the cycle, because everybody's still saying the 4-year cycle is in play. I don't know what 4 years. Apparently, I slept like Rip Van Winkle for too long. But whatever. Because I mean, don't be wrong, I'm not stupid. I know Bitcoin went up to 130, 140,000, whatever it was, but the timing was not right because I looked at it. But we never had an alt season. Do you really think we have an alt season next time? What I really think is going to happen is you're going to have 1 or 2 alts, 3, maybe 4, that have some good projects, that have some good things going on with it, that might have some pushes. Solana being one of them. one of the big things that was going on today, Cardano. Listen, I'll be the first one to tell you, I hold a shitload, probably my second largest holding next to Solana, is Cardano. It is crashing hard. Apparently, Charles Hoskinson, whatever his name is, there is some internal strife going on. That's saying there was blockchain failures, and he's trying to crawfish, as we call crawfish, meaning backtrack, saying he didn't mean Cardano was having issues, blockchain in general, all of crypto that's using blockchain for certain types of projects is having issues, and there was some shit over it. Down 10% in 24 hours, down 25% in a week, down 32% for the month. Charles Hawkinson warns 88 projects will die in 2026. Maybe I should be shorting this, huh? I looked at it earlier. It wasn't. I told you I'm addicted to this crack right now. Like every token I can think of right now, I'm going and saying, like, is this a good time to open a short? See my line earlier? I drew a line earlier, but then it broke up above the line. I'm like, nope, I don't want to mess with it. And if I would just stayed on track, where's DEPIN Jesus at? He's telling me to stay out of everything right now until everything figures out what the hell's gonna do. But I mean, man, I tell you, I need to step away from this crack. But Charles Hawkinson's trying to say that he's not in charge of it no more. He's been basically removed of everything. He doesn't have the trademark. He's not on the board. He can't make decisions. And I think what happened was there was supposed to be a big Cardano conference or something coming up, and they wanted to use tokens to pay for it. And the board, whoever it was, voted no. And people are just losing their mind. They're split on how they feel about it. But what you gonna do? Like, what you gonna do? This is the same disgusting game that I'm gonna have to play on. Do you sell now, even though it's took a loss? Because the problem is even though it feels like it, there are some tokens right now, they're lower than they were in the last bull run. I mean, bear market. I'm sorry. Look, I've been watching YouTube videos all day. Yeah, my Cardano looks worse than what, not the exact money level, but what it was worth not too long ago when it was well over $1. And now what it's worth, I could go puke. I can go puke my pasta up. Hey, but at least I'm making 3% staking on Exodus. I got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Cardano. Yeah, looking at my Exodus wallet right now is just oof. You know, if y'all watched my videos a year ago, or whatever it was, a little more than a year ago, or 2 years ago, when I started doing a lot of videos, I kept saying over and over that I was not going to sit here and watch my Exodus wallet go down 90%. Remember I told you all that? No way am I watching this Exodus wallet go down 90%. And it went down 95%. Like, because that's what happens when you heavily invested in all altcoins. Y'all don't even want to know how much vet I got and what the fuck that's worth. Ooh, man. Solana's the only thing I still got a great. I think I bought shitloads of it at $13 when it crashed. I'd wish it crashed again at $13. So you got that going on. I'm watching these people talking about. I just wanted to show you all this. People who you think people are crazy into daily trading and stuff like that. Crypto face. I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and when you look at crypto face and what, excuse me, now, I'm gonna see if I can blow this up for y'all. He's only up $168,000. Dude, stupid. And as you go later, he's up $233,000. And people are discussing that market cipher thing they got. So he has market cipher, the little thing that's supposed to give you indicators on when to trade and stuff like that. Did y'all ever see the pricing on this? The pricing on this is absolutely crazy. Let me put this back to regular size. Look at the pricing on this. 12 months, $600. Guess if you guaranteed me $50 a month winning, I don't know, but that's effing crazy. So another thing I wanted to discuss was we kind of glanced over it the other day. Is for those of y'all who were in Wingbits and really, I didn't really realize how important it was to them. It was kind of broken down to me, but part of their selling to other, customers and stuff like that, this product hunt thing is very important. In the announcements, also I shared it to my general page today and the Wingbits page today, but it's very easy to get into. As you can see, it's a link. You put your email address in. And you can upvote it, and you just press upvote. And listen, what impressed me the most? When you start reading these comments and the questions people are asking, and these aren't people from the project or from Discord that are mining it. These are people from the industry that they're asking these questions, and I am mind blown at some of the shit they're asking that's way over my pay grade. And the fact that Alex and somebody else from Wingbits can answer this like they know what they're talking about, like that impressed me so much. That's why I think like this project has a great future, at least on the product side, if that makes sense. But if again, if y'all are into Wingbits, you would think with 6,000 stations there'd be more upvotes, but people are just worried about how much tokens am I getting paid every day. Well, you know what? If you want to help yourself out with tokens and you want to see them sell more, because 50% of their income goes to buying and then burning. They need more income, which means they need more contracts signed. And this AI API that they're trying to push out, supposedly, like whatever version these people are testing, you can actually go on there, like to the map or to the AI thing, and say how many helicopters are flying over Louisiana right now, and it will tell you the amount of helicopters. If you want to narrow it down, how many drones that you see on the map in this region, it's supposed to tell you that. It's supposed to be pretty straight like that. Look, Mr. Jones, can you identify him? You know, and Alex is one of the early guys that I dealt with Wingbits back in 2023, about this time actually, when I got into it. So it's been 3 years since I've been with Wingbits, or mining Wingbits, or in the project, so to say. And that's why my bonus is so good. I have to say that. Um, One thing I still have not played with yet. I don't know if y'all have played with it. And I really one day could my poor um what do you call it? My poor hosts really deserve it. Is I have yet to play with the calculator. I don't know where it's at. There's a calculator somewhere that thing. So supposedly you should be able to like break down what, like me. I have host. I got all their original tokens on the first day, you know, and their bonus tokens and everything, and I have no idea what the hell to give them because a lot of my stations I had set up around here. So maybe the first year, those tokens all belong to me. And then year 2 might all belong, get split with the guy in Corpus Christi, whatever our percentage is, Texas. I got to figure out what the hell I owe him. So I got to play with this sooner or later and figure out, you know, what it is. If anybody's played with that yet, let me know. Wings AI track all the helicopters in California sending in extra ballots. Boy, that election, I don't understand it. So you're gonna get me on this politics thing. I don't understand how you vote for a mayor with the conditions Los Angeles is in. The best part is I'm watching last night. I don't know how I get wrapped up in some of this shit, but you got people arguing why they don't want to vote for Bass, and of course they're being called racist. And they're like, no, I just don't like stepping over shit, and all the homeless people and stuff. And you have liberals that are, and listen, I'm about as, I used to be very conservative Republican. I don't like what's happened to that party, so I'm gonna say this, but you have liberals that are actually arguing that none of that's true and that's made up by the media. There's like video of it. Like, are you serious? Like Bass didn't, you know, it's not really that bad. It's that's just Fox News made all that up. So then he asked him like, so tell me something positive she did and why you'd vote for her. And all he do is attack the opponent because there's nothing positive. So who's the racist? It's like, don't get me started in politics. I think everything in politics is hypocritical. Hypocritical. They want to attack Trump every day because of his health, while you have Biden who had no idea what planet he was on. That's hypocritical. It is what it is. Do I think it's okay that Trump's demolishing half the White House and the pond in front? No. They all suck, man. This is like wrestling. I still say that. Republicans and Democrats behind the curtains are eating lunch together, and then they come out in front of the curtain and they play off to everybody's emotions like as if they hate each other. It's all a show. Damn you, 619, for getting me started on that. Go watch Google Street. I'm telling you, go look on social media. The people who are defending Bass are saying that Fox News and the in Republican conservative news organizations are making up these conditions in Los Angeles just to try to hurt her. That's what's being said. How do you argue with that? Back in the day, Healing bought me a new dirt bike, but I'm tapped out. Hey, listen, I've always said I have a loyalty in my heart to the end on Helium. I've told everybody the story. I don't want to, you know, I got 15 people sitting here, and I don't want to put everybody to sleep. I've said the story 1,000 times. You know, y'all all know about the 17-day ROI. I'm not gonna tell you that story because I know that pisses y'all off. But when my family had to evacuate in Hurricane Ida, it was a last minute deal. If anybody can imagine having to send your family to a hotel the next state over with 2 kids, your wife, 2 kids, and your dog, to stay in a hotel for a week, completely unprepared. This ain't like a vacation that you get to save your money and do stuff. I didn't have money for that. You know, y'all know what I do for a living. My wife's a teacher. We ain't got extra income like that. Kids in school and stuff. It was Helium that bailed us out. I could cash in $1,000 to put them. Now, eventually, you know, you get some reimbursement on the hotel and stuff like that, but I didn't have that kind of money sitting up front. Who's got $1,000 sitting around, or almost $2,000 by the time they had to go get different things and then come back to the house that has damage because we got 10 hours worth of 80 to 100 mile an hour winds because Hurricane Ida decided to sit her fat ass on top of my house and stall for 8 to 10 hours. I had water in my doors. I had water in my windows. Even though my windows never broke, but just the seals around them eventually gave out and you had water in them. I had to pay for that damage up front, like to get the house back in some kind of living quarters, living like, you know, dehumidifiers and get all that crap out until you can start getting reimbursed. It was Helium. Nothing else. Helium. Helium bailed me out. Probably $2,000 to $3,000 worth by the time it was all done. I mean, that's on top of buying 20-something stations, $200 layered antennas for each of them. All that was paid for with Helium. So Helium always, you know, if Helium was a person, I would thank him because I don't know what the shit I would have did back then. But I still say to those people, like, if people say you need to evacuate for hurricanes, it's easy to sit there back there and say that. Why in the hell would they stay in that house? They ain't got nobody to rescue them when the winds get that bad. You're right, but some people don't have a place to go. You can't go to Motel 6 in Arkansas and say, I had to evacuate for a hurricane. Do I get a free room? No, it don't work like that. And then everything gets destroyed around here. You can't even drive down the streets. There's no power for a week and a half. No grocery stores to get food. No gas station to get gas. You can bring your wife, and back then my kids were younger. You know, my son was probably 12 or 13. My daughter was 9 or 10. I don't want to bring my kids home to that shit. Eating MREs or whatever the government's giving out. Red Cross is just looking for more money for their CEO. Helium bailed us out. You know, I'll always have, like, I've always said that. So, like, what I make now in Helium, does it hurt that my Helium that I have, you know, over, I have almost 1,100, 1,200 tokens, that's worth nickels and dimes now? Does it hurt? Fuck yeah, it hurts. But guess what? I made my money with Helium. And there will never be another project that you make money with. I made $5,000 in 17 days with Helium. Paid $5,000 for the station and ROI in 17 days. I know y'all don't like hearing that, or y'all sick of hearing that story, but I still have to say that because there will never be another. What it's turned into now, we've learned lessons from it. Learned lessons from it. Problem is the writing, just like other crypto projects, when they wanted to pivot to 4G, 5G, LTE, whatever, and wanted to do all this other goofy shit, that was the writing on the wall that we should have bailed the fuck then. But what onboarding fee scam? Signalon says also onboarding fee scam. The onboarding fee scam is the reason that, you know, or are you talking about like in the last year, if you wanted to onboard a new device, now you had to pay the onboard fee, even though technically it was paid the first time by each manufacturer. Is that what you're talking about before I have to jump in it? Because the onboarding fee that each provider paid or each manufacturer paid when there was 900,000 plus stations deployed, that was the fee that caused Helium to go up to $50. We were making 20 H&T a day. 24, 25 some days, 21, 16, 18. And that was with 10 stations around New Orleans. And I had my buddy's house was in New Orleans that hosted it. And you keep thinking, boy, there's more stations going up. You can start doing better. And the price is going down. Then there's a halving. The halving killed it. The first halving just killed it. It was a halving, but really it could have been a 90%er. I look at it as this is the funeral this is us saying some kind words on helium. This is the funeral. This is it. I think this is going to be, does anybody really think that the mobile being bought off from somebody else, Amir stepping down, that all that's left is IoT? Unless I'm missing something. If I'm missing something, please, y'all not hurt my feelings. This is a way to educate everybody. Tell me, am I missing something? So you're back to now helium only having IoT, and who's running it? Odin says, I'm lucky just to have a job right now. They're rolling out the robots all over the place. That's truth. I have nothing to back this statement up I'm about to make, other than what I'm seeing from different corporations and different things. But I think AI is going to have a tipping point. And some of y'all who might be dead deep in I got a guy right now that if he could write AI to wipe his ass, he would do it. He does everything. Every day he's telling me about it. I'm not going to say who it is because y'all all know him, but he is so proud that every day he has something to do with AI. He has an AI assistant. Now, when you call his phone, his AI assistant, Jennifer, answers the phone, and you got to tell her what the hell you want. You can ask her questions and all kind of stuff like that. And it's just he's created a website for his buddy strictly through AI. Like, he is doing so much shit with AI right now. But I know companies personally talking to people that if they think you used AI like for your resume, they don't fucking want you. You're starting to see a lot of companies, I say a lot, but I'm starting to see companies that if you're coming to them with a product that they can tell was made with AI, the door's getting shut in your face. Even like for those of y'all who in Mesh Core and Mesh and stuff like that, the guy Andy who created a Mesh OS or Mesh firmware with AI, he's getting fucking slammed right now. People don't want that shit. And at some point, I just think there's going to be a tipping point. I could be completely wrong, but I'm watching it. People don't want AI programs. If that's what your company's offering, it's not necessarily an AI program. It was a program that you're trying to sell that AI created. Listen, I know it's not everywhere. Some of y'all are going to tell me, well, no, we're doing this and this. I understand that. I'm just telling you, you're starting to see that more and more. You're starting to see that on LinkedIn where people are talking about it. You're starting to see it on different websites, people talking about it. I just think AI is going to be a tipping point. You got people saying that buying all this AI stock and everything, is it going to be the next, was it the .web bubble and shit? I think it is. I just do. I could be completely wrong and you will never see it and we could be missing out on big money. I just think it's going to be a bubble that pops. But you can't get in an argument with nobody right now. What do they do? Chat GPT, help me win my argument. Why does as if Chat GPT is the Bible, like God's word. Guess what, people? I hate to tell you this. I've seen Chat GPT wrong. There was something I couldn't find it right now. If I had to, where people sharing on X, it was either X or Threads or Facebook. There's so many fucking different ones now. TikTok, whatever. Different times, like ChatGPT was completely wrong. Then you got Claude, that was the older brother. Whatever you want to call it. Anyway, welcome to the AI YouTube chat. I ain't never gonna be rich. Soon seen, I'm on board with you. When I tell you, like, my wife used to make, I tell you all this all the time. My wife used to make this joke. Hey, we'd be sitting on the couch and she's looking at something online like, hey, look, when you're big, because to her, everything's Bitcoin. She don't know the differences between Cardano, Solana, Wingbits, whatever. It's all kind of like down here in the South. I know you'll hear me say this all the time. We don't have pop or soda. First time I went to Missouri, because I love going to St. Louis, they're like, you want to pop? No, I don't want you to pop me. What the fuck are you talking about? No. Like I was like a teenager. I'll never forget it. Like, oh, you mean a Coke? Oh, you want a Coke? No, I want Diet Coke. Why did you say, like, we don't, down here, everything's a Coke. You want a Coke? Sure. What kind of Coke? Sprite. What kind of Coke? Diet Coke. What kind of Coke? Mountain Dew. Everything's a Coke. To my wife, everything's Bitcoin. So we sit around all the time. She's like, when your Bitcoin hits, look what I want to do to the backyard. When your Bitcoin hits, look at this new car. When your Bitcoin hits, and I'm like, if you don't quit saying that, one of us is going to go to jail soon. And now she don't really say it too much because she don't know nothing about the shit going on, but she could tell by my demeanor and listen to me enough that she knows shit ain't right. Trust me, she was looking forward to Wingbits TGE more than I was. And she knew Wingbits TGE was in mid-April. And the fact that we haven't paid a bill off yet, because we talked about like paying off some little bitty credit cards and shit. Like I have a couple of, I don't have a lot of credit cards. I've got in trouble with that years ago. I have little gas cards because I don't use gas. I don't use my credit or debit cards in a gas station no matter what. They got too many skimmers out here. I got gas cards, strictly using gas cards. I'd like to pay them off, because if you pay off those little balances and you're not paying it every month, that's saving you money. And the fact that we ain't paid shit off, she knows not to ask. She knows there's something wrong. I had all these grinder things, years ago between helium and ASIC miners and crypto. But, the last bull run, last bear market, what was that? Like 2020, 2021, 2022, whatever the hell it was, 23, whatever. And I had I showed you before, I had that Google Sheets document with all these alts that we were buying and Bitcoin and how much they were all down 90, 92, 94%. And whatever was down the most, me and my buddies were we bought all those alts coins and stuff like that. We thinking, man, we're going back up 90-something% on these fucking coins. Guess what? They didn't. You got Cardano lower now than it was in the last bear market. My buddy said, fuck this, I'm out. He took, I don't even want to know how much he took. He just had enough. He couldn't handle it no more. Sold it and took a loss. I said, dude, are you out of your mind? He says, I cannot handle this no more. I'll take the tax loss right off of my taxes. And let me tell you, I'm talking probably, I hate to tell y'all a number because y'all will never believe me. Never. Some people, he owns a construction company. Some people had that money. He bought kind of in the last bull market. And he bought something to get his average cost down and shit. But he took a loss. I'm like, dude, I bet he lost 15 grand. I'm like, that's crazy. No. The most I've sold in the last 6 months is crow just because I got mouths to feed at the house. And all that crow was free because I was using my debit card and everything. But I've if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I'm eligible for retirement in 26 days. 5 years ago, if you would have told me, hey, are you going to do drop, which drop is the extra time you can do after retirement? Are you doing drop? I would have said, I ain't got to do no fucking drop. Crypto. Crypto is going to be my drop. Because I know what I'm going to make in drop if I do 4 more years. I already got the paper that says if you stay 4 years, this is what you're going to make. You put up a lot of bullshit for the number on the bottom of that paper. But I'm like, I don't need drop, bro. I got crypto. I'm in crypto. I've been in crypto since 2015. 2015. I can remember when Coinbase was Bitcoin. And then it came out with Ethereum and Litecoin. Those are the only 3 things on Coinbase. I remember it. I don't know how many of y'all do, but I do. And guess what? And then there was this huge fight online on what's going to be the number 2 token, Ethereum or Litecoin. And there was like this huge, it was like, for those of y'all my age myself here, for like the old VCR beta days, or some of y'all youngsters might remember HD DVDs versus Blu-ray DVDs. So now you don't have fucking neither. That was Litecoin and Bitcoin. Nintendo versus Sega. PlayStation versus Xbox. That was Litecoin. And of course, what's Grumpy pick? Can y'all guess what Grumpy picked? Yeah, Litecoin. The Ethereum's gases were fucking outrageous. Everybody's like, this ain't going to ever last. Yeah. How that worked out. I've been in Bitcoin. I've been in crypto for 10 years, and I can't survive a fucking daily trade. I still haven't learned to sell tokens early. and I hold on to shit way too long. So yeah, my days of getting rich off crypto. Luckily now, I'm I'm contacting a pension lady and saying, okay, if I stay 4 years, how much do I get in pension? Because crypto ain't the answer. Shit. Wingbits ain't the answer. Do we really want to go through them? Nadix wasn't the answer. Nubla definitely wasn't. Never was the question or the answer. Demo. I went through my Discord today when I was doing all this trading stuff, seeing if I had any old trading Discords. And you know what? I'm like, I don't want to look at Nubla no more. Leave server. I don't want to look at fucking Demo no more. Leave server. I don't want to look at I had Nebra on there and Bobcat from Helium. Don't want to look at that shit either. Helium, don't want to look at that shit either. Leave. I bet I quit 10 different servers today between projects, all that shit. Get the fuck out. The drops in the fridge always create. Listen, one thing I will agree with people is, look, it sucks right now. I'm not saying it sucks. And if we can time these bottoms, or these as it's going down, and you make trades like I did last night, you're like, crash more, mother effer. Let Bitcoin go to 50. I was in that short last night, and I was hoping to see $50,000 Bitcoin. And while they got some people crying somewhere, I'm in my ham meeting last night, not paying attention, another ham radio, cheering that Bitcoin goes down to 59,000 because my short was pumping. But you watch Miss Teen Crypto, whatever she goes with now, because she definitely ain't no teenager no more if you haven't seen her. Miss Clickbait herself, the queen of XRP, Wendy O. They're all saying kind of the same thing. Somebody else, I'll tell you, I watched videos all day today. It was raining at work. Couldn't go out and do anything. Couldn't go program radios. Couldn't go work on no microwave shit. So I just stayed around the office. But they all said the same thing. Is Bitcoin dead? Well, they said Bitcoin was dead last time when it went down to 60-something thousand. And they said Bitcoin was dead when it went down to 40,000. And Bitcoin was dead last time, went down to 18,000, would never recover, and all this shit. And here we were a couple of months ago, whatever it was, at 130, 40,000. Do we really think Bitcoin's dead? No. But is it getting manipulated to hell? Fuck yes. People are losing their mind right now on what's his name? MicroStrategies sold Bitcoin. The guy who always said, don't ever sell your Bitcoin. You don't ever sell your Bitcoin. You don't ever sell your Bitcoin. Guess what he did today? Or yesterday? Sold his Bitcoin. Because it's not MicroStrategy no more. It's strategy. He sold 32 coins for 2.5 million at the average cost of 77,000 for the second time ever as geopolitical uncertainty. That's the company announced a pivot from sailors' long-standing "you never sell your Bitcoin." Remember that stupid commercial? And that, but where are we that just dictates what the hell we think? I remember years ago when everybody wanted Bitcoin to be attached to the stock market and Bitcoin to be picked up by retail. Bitcoin, picked up all these whales and shit. And now we bitch about it. Because I've always said, if y'all follow my videos years ago, I've always said when the ETF came out is, y'all want the ETFs, but you'll have to deal with the demons that come with the ETFs. And these people who, I think they said right now, there's way more people holding Bitcoin right now for a loss than ever before. big losses. And you have people who own Bitcoin ETFs, bought 100,000 plus at 100,000 plus, and the outflows are almost higher than ever before, and that hurts. That's going to hurt us. That's the good that comes with the bad. Completely off the grid, buddy. It's the only crypto I'm still in. Off the grid. Never heard of it. I'm going to look at crypto can go down, it drops. Come just ask for a water cup. Always say please and thank you when I use AI. So Skynet lets me. Student Seed says, I always say please and thank you when I use AI. So Skynet lets me live for being nice to them. Look, I don't even call it AI. When I listen, I can be in a work meeting. This is how you know I'm so close to retirement, because I just don't give a. But I when I know somebody's using AI, I'm like, hey, what's the Terminator say about this? What do you mean Terminator? You're using AI, aren't you? Well, yeah, you just watch too many movies. Dude, we watch movies and it showed us what the hell AI does, and we still running that AI at 200 miles an hour towards it. And I am very fearful for our future. Maybe it's me getting older, but you're watching these kids now who cannot do fucking anything without AI help. How are they going to get jobs? How are they going to get? And look, best part is like, what are these kids doing? Because it ain't just where I work at. I know many people that own businesses. Nobody wants to work in any industry. Even the plants out here that had, that make damn good money. You find like nobody wants to work these days. Like in this generation, like they're not all at home working, making OnlyFans and YouTube pages and channels and TikToks. Not everybody's doing that. There's only so many feet pics you can sell. I'm very, very worried about this next generation and what we're going to leave this world, because, I'm sorry if anybody in here is 20, 21 years old, but talk to your people, man. I don't know what generation that is. Gen Z, Gen XY. I don't know. I can't keep up with that shit. I'm a Gen X baby. Everybody talk about how great the 80s were. We think the 80s were so great because we don't remember them, other than the cool little videos and TikToks we see every now and then. But I'm gonna tell you now, I remember growing up in the 80s, it was rough. The thing about this is the 80s was so great for us because we didn't have bills. We didn't have wives or husbands. We had to go to school, make sure our homework was done, make sure we didn't get paddled in school. Came home, make sure we didn't get paddled at home or whooped. Played some Atari. Played outside until the street lights came on. Make sure our ass was inside. And repeated it the next day. It was a simpler time, but it doesn't mean it was. Hell, my son in high school stayed inside and played Xbox every day. You tell me he didn't have it better than I did in the 80s? Fucking right, he had it better. I didn't get no fucking truck at 16, 17 years old. Terminator robot. I'm gonna tell you now, Idiocracy is another one. Like, that needs to be showed. That needs to be required viewing in schools nowadays, college and high school. And I don't think some people would get the jokes or the meaning behind it, but it is like, drink Brondo or whatever the hell it is. That's, I don't know. It's crazy. Kids today would never survive the 80s and 90s. That's, I do agree with that. I'll just leave it at that. I do agree. It's if somebody was bullying you at school, you got 2 or 3 of your friends to help you, and you beat his ass the next day. That's how we handle bullies, or you just avoided them. One of the two. And if you told a teacher, and the teacher caught him bullying and doing something really bad, he got his ass whipped with the fucking paddle. Didn't call mom and dad, say, is it okay if I paddle your child? No. I'll never forget. Never forget. Some kid was bullying some other kid in the hallway. I went to Catholic school, elementary school. and some teacher came in with a yardstick. And I'm telling you, she hit that freaking kid so hard on his ass. Had to be about third grade, third or fourth grade. I remember, like, I can't remember what I ate an hour ago, but I'm gonna tell you, I remember that image. She, little old white lady, and this kind of little bad, heavy set white kid, and I remember his name. I look at him on Facebook every day and hoping that he's struggling in life. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was that asshole of a bully. But I never forget, she caught him grabbing some kid doing something, and she took him while he's trying to walk back to the classroom, and she took that yardstick and broke it over his ass as he was walking. And I'm telling you, that yardstick broke into three spots, three pieces, not in half, three pieces. She hit him so hard. If a teacher did that today, she'd be in jail. She'd be in jail. That's how you handle bullies back then. The teacher whipped his ass with a yardstick. He was starting to cry, even as a third or fourth grader. It was fucking great. We all defended her from that day forward, and it was over with. She didn't write no report for the police. He didn't get a bullying report on him. There had to be 12. My wife tells me a bullying report is like 12 or 13 pages long. That's how convoluted it is in school. You wonder why teachers don't want to write bullying reports, parents, because they've convoluted it. You can't do that these days. Shit. You want to fire a teacher for raising their voice or cursing. I'll never forget when I played high school. I love saying that because I feel like Al Bundy's my hero. I watch Married with Children all the time on Pluto. But I played high school football. You knew not to fuck up in like your coach's classes. Why? Because your coach would take you in front of the class and make you start doing shit in the class. We'd have to do these, what the hell they called them? Lazy or something, wall somethings, where you lean your back against the wall. It doesn't sound that bad until you try it. And you stoop down into your thighs or horizontal with your arms out. Shit. I wouldn't last 5 seconds today. But you knew if you screwed up in your one of your football coaches' classes, like if you played offense and it was an offensive line coach and I was offensive lineman, or when I played defensive line, you can't do that these days. This generation is different. I know we way off the crypto topic, but I could talk about, there's certain things in my childhood I do remember like it was yesterday. And I'm telling you, my last 30 years at my work are a blur. Other than losing some friends in the line of duty when they got shot and ambushed by some assholes. But other than that, like, but I could sit and talk about yep. Like a movie, like my junior high was in the middle of a projects. I could tell y'all some stories, but y'all would probably get me banned from YouTube, even though they're 100% honest. And that's what's wrong with the world today. I could honestly tell y'all, honest to God, I could have a Bible on me. I could bring a buddy from junior high with me standing right here to vouch my story on the stuff that we had to deal with in junior high. I hated my 3 years of junior high, 87, 88, 89, were the worst 3 years of my life. Worst 3 years of my life. And if I told y'all why, I'll be deemed a racist. Just for telling the story. Even though it's fact. Watching gang fights like it's a fucking movie. School dance, after school dance, people getting jumped by the other gang. And you don't know what the fuck they got. They got weapons. This is this is suburb. Like this is, you think like it's some movie and shit, like the old man telling stories and people don't believe him. When I moved out here and started working with people, I'm like, y'all don't know the way I was raised. But the same thing. But them dudes came by my house. They go swimming at my house. I lived on the water in the lake. They wear 2 life jackets and shit. At the football practice, we'd all go swim by each other's house. We were tight. There was some shenanigans that went on. It's crazy. That's life. But these days and times, you can't even tell stories about that, even though they're factual. Anyway, they're going to chat on vacation in Florida, watching stream while relaxing. Story time. You're here for story time, huh? Because we done with, I don't know what's, crypto's dead, man. MicroStrategy sold a whole bunch of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's dead. Crypto's dead. DEPIN's dead. What's next? Anybody came in late? I just got sent the link. Let me check this out. Let's see if this works. AI. Here we go again with AI. What if it's too big of an area? That's fucking crazy. 28 track segments goes. That's the last scene time. 01. That's actually a little while ago. Minute two. Louisiana has significant offshore and gas helicopters. Who else? Anybody else got a question they want me to ask Wingbits? The Wingbits AI people? Person? Wingbit AI? Wingy? Wingo? Wingo sounds like it's from Australia. Well, I guess Maxie is from Australia, so. N911XJ is one of the hospital helicopters. I know that one. That's crazy. Don't forget to say thanks. Thanks. Please don't blow me up when you take over. You're welcome. Feel free to come back anytime you want to track aircraft, helicopter, look up military flights, or anything. Thanks. I'm stupid. Artec says that the teacher was the biggest bully. Disagree. I think that's why these 80s kids today function so well. We had discipline. Maybe that's my old age talking, my bald and gray hair, but kids these days don't have no discipline. They go up with no discipline, no respect. You have issues with them. I already told my son, like, you get away with shit that, like, I would have never gotten away with. See, buddy, that's crazy. That's crazy that they acknowledge things. I've never. Should put it there. Please don't kill me in the future when you take over. But that is the Wingbits AI. Again, if you for those of y'all who might have came in late, please go. Let's see, Wingbits. Please go. This is the announcements page on. No, this is on the announcements page on Wingbits, but also on my Discord, the Grumpy Dad Discord. There's a link in the description below. Hopefully, I'm sure everybody here, all 18 people are here. or in the Discord. But for those people who watch this later, because I know I get usually, 70, 80 people later eventually watch this crap. Go make sure you go to Product Hunt, and like the last one has where the link. Just go there. You put your email in and upvote them and help them out. Again, it helps the overall project. The numbers are kind of low. Like I said, for the fact that we got over 6,000 stations and only a couple of hundred votes, take 10 seconds to help the people out. And like I said, I'm very impressed for those of you who might not have been here in the beginning. When you read the comments below and you see how detailed they get from people who know what the hell they're talking about, and then Alex from Wingbits can reply to them like he knows what the hell he's talking about. I can't tell you how impressed I was earlier today when I read that. It gives you hope for the project, and yeah. Oh, what else? Mm-hmm. For those of you that watch my video, Chirp got rid of their cage. I'm sorry. They indefinitely delayed, postponed their cage app. I call that shit. But any plans of the token which increases the price? That's another one. This is another project I'm very, 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 very disappointed in. Mons Pro is the only place you can get in case anybody's trying to screw you over from Mass Chain. Oh, you know what project I apologize that I did not even discuss on my Monday video was, well, first was 375 AI. For some reason, everybody it says big rewards, but from what I understand, we all took a hit on our rewards. I had several of y'all who are still in this project contact me saying we got reamed on rewards. Shit, yeah. The last like 3 or 4 since airdrop 12, Epoch 12, we've been getting fucking hosed. I knew that 190 and 100. Again, I'll be dead honest with y'all. The only reason I'm still in this project, it runs in the background on my phone and I ain't gonna mess with it. If I know I'm going on a long trip like Saturday, I got to go to my hunting lease in the morning. Before I leave the house, or at some point on my way there, in between getting my coffee and donuts, I'm going to check to make sure the app's running in the background. I got the app running on 2 different phones, which is legal. And I actually have it running on my wife's phone. You can run it up to 5 phones with the same login. And we still getting 30, 20, 30 rewards every epoch. That sucks. But anyway, but that's the only reason I'm running it is because it runs in the background. Another project that I guess you should have sold early. 40 Sky annoys the shit out of me that they still got this called Neuron. But anyway, keep just from Nick, one of Neuron's engineers. We're looking forward to OG community member in the United States, running their busy aviation region, who may be able to help test sensor tech capabilities. This is 40 Sky. The team is exploring UAT related testing, but we do not currently have enough relevant activity in the UK to test this properly. If you're in the USA near a busy flight area, technically comfortable and willing to help, please reach out through the proper community channels. This is part of our effort to share more progress as it happens. Well, I know we have UAT here in Louisiana. I think I'm 17 air miles or 20 air miles from New Orleans International Airport, and probably 30 air miles from Baton Rouge International Airport. And I know UAT's there because when I used to run it with other projects, Flight Aware and shit years ago, I would see it, but I'm too busy help testing. But somebody wanted to update on 4D Sky. There it is. Somebody running a Brusho. I still cannot get my toothbrushes replaced. Yes, I've been talking about that for 2-3 months. They're catching absolute hell in Telegram because of it, because they're saying there's nothing wrong with it and it's fixed. But I can tell you, every time I try to get the replacement brushes using the tokens, it fails. Wingbits is on sale, $20 off right now. Look, I don't even have the screen on. I'm the worst YouTuber in the world. Look, Wingbits has a sale right now. Oh, helium deploy, $20 off. You'd probably do better because I don't think you can combine it using the Grumpy code. I can tell you, listen, y'all know I'm honest with y'all. My code was used twice last month in April. I'm sorry, May. We in June, Conrad. In May, my code was used twice. One person bought a WB200. One person bought a 4D Sky Station. So now Helium Deploy has a problem paying its YouTubers, and now I have to contact them and ask them why I didn't get my couple of coins I was supposed to get June 1st. You have to remind them now. Kind of same thing that happened to highfix.com. What was the other one? I mean, is anybody still buying this? So you have 26 days. Grumpy's technically retirement date is the same day as GeoNet's halving date. God bless. Ask a few questions. You can get $20 off an order. Woohoo. This is what I'm looking for. So now they're selling this air squitter for $9.85. They're going to sell the two competing projects together. Hey, $250 off is a pretty good chunk. Pretty good chunk. Now, if you want the UAT antenna, $13.75. But hey, you also get I think you get a discount. Look, if you go to Helium Deploy, use my link that's below, please. At least I get credit for y'all using my link. Click on it. Even if y'all don't buy nothing, go click on it and help a brother out. What the fuck do they mean batch 1 reserved? We went through 5 or 6 batches. Deliveries are now. Ships June 15th. Standard antenna is $9.85. So it comes with the U8, the 1090 antenna. If you want the UAT antenna in the USA, that's another $200. If you live in the EU in New Zealand, New Zealand area, you're looking at $12.25 for both of those, because that's going to include farm antenna for Europe. And if you are in, I'm assuming that's Canada, maybe is that Latin America and Australia, LATAM? That's $12.25 because you get farm with that too. That's about it. Now, this says mass chain. Now, what the shit is this? First of all, mass chain, it distinctly said on Discord. I wonder if there's a little controversy going on. Discord distinctly said mass chain is on mass nodes only being sold with Monpro. I was also told by somebody in mass chain that these devices from Monpro have already started shipping out. I was also told that helium deploy. Let me rephrase that. I read in the Discord when someone inquired about it that helium deploy has jumped the gun on this. So I would not be surprised at all if any of this changes. Because from what I understand, and in the last AMA, they said these things were not ready for prime time yet. They're still going through testing and any kind of fine tuning that they may need. So I think helium deploy is just jumping the gun on this. We don't know. Zero cable, single cable PoE develop. I'm guessing this is going to have. I'd love to know who made this. Does anybody know who the manufacturer is on this? Rock Chip. Oh man, is 619 still in here, dude? Please don't tell me that this is the same thing that the Rock Pies were based off of. Because the Rock Pies were the worst piece of shit that Helium approved. I had 5, 6 of them. None of them ever worked right. I then wiped them, tried putting just a regular the Rock Pi OS on them to run Wingbits stations DIYs, and they couldn't even do that right. They had nothing but problems, couldn't update all kinds of shit, and they all got chunked. I really hope that I'm completely wrong on this. If I am wrong, I apologize to Helium and whoever this rock chip, whoever this is making. Not Helium, Jesus Christ. Wingbits. I really hope this is not going to do with no rock pie shit. Let's ask AI, guys. No, the RK3562S and Rock Power Pads are related, but they're not made by the same company. The RK362S is a system on chip designed by Rock Chip, a semiconductor manufacturer that develops ARM-based processors. Rock Pi boards are single boards computers made by Rad, often uses Rock Chip processors in its boards. Wait, designed by Rock Chip processors boards. The chip designer. The The RK3050 is a processor designed by Rockchip, while RockPi boards are made by Rock. So these are different companies. Y'all confused yet? Mother flipper. Cough, cough, Nebra. What's 619 say? Look, it all comes together at the end. Oh, God bless America. I know how 619 loves his helium products. He's still waiting on this shipment. Maybe the new guy who took what's his name spot, maybe he can get you your stations that you're still waiting on from Nebra. I'm sure they're getting shipped soon, dude. Like all the shipments should have went out, and your Nebras should be hitting your doorstep. They might be out there right now. You never know. The new CEO took over from Helium and said, we got to get 619 shit out. He's been waiting on it and blasting us on Discord. 5 years and 3 months. I'm telling you, dude, it's right around the corner. Yep. All right. I need to start doing these lives later. I got 23 people in here right now. That's the most I had all night. I hope y'all coming here for trading advice, right? See what we can short now. Shorting is just fun. Is much more fun than opening longs. Cardano ain't it. SpaceX. Well, I'm glad I didn't short SpaceX. Who was telling? Oh, see that? On TradingView, you can change this to Central Standard Times. Scale. See, it won't let me change my time. Man, I tell you, man, I'm like that crackhead in rehab, bro. I gotta short something. The worst thing I could have did was make $350 last night on a short on Bitcoin. That's the worst thing that could have happened to me. Because now I'm just like, the fact that I'm not in the trade, I'm itching. It's just gone sideways. I gotta quit looking at this. There's no reason you should be touching Bitcoin the short or long right now while I was doing this squiggly snake shit. Oh man. Cardano, it might be what we're missing out on. And look, we know this is going to fucking zero. Short some XRP. Win $10, $100. I'm sure as soon as the Iran war is done, it's going to $100. If I get another phone call from somebody about that around here, then they're gonna call and ask me, and then tell me how wrong I am because somebody at the plant, these plant workers, there's somebody in there telling everybody about XRP. I'm like, bro, y'all are their exit liquidity because these plant dudes are putting in like 5 and 10 grand in this shit, and I'm like, God bless. If y'all remember this, I'll tell you a story. I have a buddy who has a construction company, not the same one that took the loss earlier, a different one, who put 10 grand in XRP when it was like $3, if y'all remember. Told that dude not to. And he's like, well, man, it's just 10 grand. The thing is, this thing what I'm gonna have, if it goes to the $10 or $100, like they said, I'm like, bro, it's not. It's not. The thing called market cap. I'll argue with people all day. Well, they said they ignore the market cap. This TikTok video says ignore. You can't ignore the market cap. It's fucking math. Even though I hate math, and math's the reason. Me failing math is the reason. I got the job I got. Market cap is market cap. With $10, you'll be at 700,000. So that's going to be, you're going to be 3.5 times what Ethereum is. Yeah, okay. Litecoin. Litecoin's like the cockroach. I'll tell everybody, Litecoin is the cockroach that never gets respect. It's still here. The OGs. What else? Ripple. Fucking Cosmos kill me. That shit was $40. It's probably my third or fourth largest holding. Fuck's sake. Jupiter, Arbitrum, VeChain. My Luna Classic still hanging in there. You know what I don't see? 146. 16 cents on some whiff. Mm, 4-hour chart is just sideways. All right, I did enough rambling for tonight. It's 9 o'clock. I appreciate everybody who's come on. Please make sure you hit the like button. If you love this excellent TA and listen to me talk about Catholic school teachers whipping people with rulers. Well, that's why I was asking earlier about SPCX, because I saw. So I wonder if there's a different SP. You know, they got. I don't know what SpaceX this is. It says SpaceX and it has a little. That's a little symbol. SpaceX type USDT. Minimum quality, minimum leverage, open interest. You got me, man. Whatever it is, it looks like a good token. I should have. Maybe not. I should have opened a long on. I meant, yeah. They don't have. I don't see any other information other than that on SpaceX. $177, $178. I can't. I can expect the new Doge miners to lower the price even more. You know, I used to make some pretty decent money years ago when I was doing all this smoking this crack rock right here on short and Doge, and even that. That don't look that bad. I'd have to snort some of that later. I need to go to bed. I just need to step away from the freaking keyboard. Y'all gonna have me opening up all these trays tonight. It's killing me. I'm telling you, this is like, not that I know it was like addicted to cocaine, but I'm telling you, like, I had to clean cut step away from this trading shit years ago after losing my ass off. I took a little sniff last night, and now it's like today I'm just like full bore. What's up, Roar? What's happening? I want to look at. I guess in Doge is script mining. Who's paying for this shit? Like, you're paying for $215 for a lottery miner that you may not hit. I just like, I called this shit a year or two ago. Like when they started with these solo little miners like this, that eventually they're going to be like ASICs and just keep going up, keep going up. But like paying $500 for a 1 in 100 chance of hitting per month Doge, Litecoin, whatever. But even if you hit a block, you're not even making that much, are you? A block rewards 1,000. Was it $926 if you hit it? I guess it is worth. I mean, I could say it's worth it on live, but proceed at your own risk, not financial advice. Use the Grumpy code if you buy one of these and save $50. I just. I've always said, like, I probably would have taken one of these just to say I had one of these bit axes back then, but it ain't me, man. I don't know. I've always said I wanted one. Oh, these are on sale now. I always wanted a Magic Miner, man. $126. Y'all know my birthday's coming up next month, so I'm gonna tell my send this to my wife. Somebody needs to tell them that the rock is going in the wrong direction, though. Apparently, this thing's faulty. It needs to be sent back to the manufacturer, or just turn it upside down. What would be cool is if the price is going up and the trend's going up, the rocket's going up, and if it's going down, to let you know to short it, they need to have the rocket going down. That's the way that should work. Lead Source sells them for $50. I'm not gonna charge my phone on it. Look, that screen looks just like mine. Crack the shit. A lucky miner. You have a 1 in 49. So y'all, these solo Bitcoin miners, I keep telling y'all, I have a better chance of being on the beach with Sydney Sweeney in the bikini than I do of getting this shit. But use the code. Sending my daughter off to college, and even with a scholarship, shit costs, you know, furniture and apartments and shit like that. Solo miners are a scam. 619, get some food. I appreciate it. I probably need to go do the same thing. My friend put 50 was Memorial Day sale. Times are tight, bro. I don't even have $61. I need that to go short some more Bitcoin when it goes down to 59,000. Waiting for it. All right, boys and girls, 9 o'clock. We've been at this for 2 hours. I appreciate everybody who's came by. Make sure you hit the like button, and hopefully we can kind of keep these up. At least one, you know, it's hard to do it live on Tuesdays and Thursdays when crypto is just so exciting. Unless you want to hear fishing stories and more stories of why the 80s were better for some people and not for others. I don't know. Hey, at least I got to wear a fishing shirt. Lord knows I ain't got enough time to go fishing. Every weekend's been raining, so you know. $60 is a mesh core node. I guess the companion, but Peter's still 100 something bucks plus the antenna. We're supposed to be doing 2 tower installs this weekend. One at 400 feet and the other at about 200 feet this weekend. And we got this. It's not a tropical depression. It's just a low that is in the Gulf. And over the weekend, it's just going to be right south of Louisiana. It's just pumping rain. And watch. We canceled both these tower climbs for Saturday and Sunday. Watch. It's going to be beautiful in the morning. Robert says, I got my 4D Sky up today. It's awesome. Got one more 4D Sky in the mail. God bless you. Wish you luck, buddy. All jokes aside, I hope you do well with it. You know, I do have one. I didn't pay for it. They sent it. I didn't ask for it. They sent it to me. Kind of like the same thing with Mass Chain. Didn't say I had to do a review or I had to talk nice about them. They just said, thanks for the support. Here's a Mass node or 4D Sky device. For your sake, man. And look, I want everybody to be successful. This isn't competition. This isn't gang wars like I was in junior high and shit. I think the DEPIN market's got enough business for everybody if the projects ran right. I hope they're all successful. I mean, I'm in 4D Sky too, and I was in it very early compared to some. So I hope I can do something with it. Same thing with Mass Chain. I got people asking me this question about Mass Chain, and I'm like, look, I'm not expecting anything superly great just because it's DEPIN. And I have to make sure how I word this because somebody asked me this on Discord. It's not that I don't think high of Mass Chain or the 4D Sky projects. What I said in my videos was, if you listen carefully, was it's just DEPIN as a whole. Other than a couple of weeks of demo and a couple of weeks of, you know, and somebody in the chat or somebody's gonna make a comment that like, no, I did great in demo. Okay, you did great. Everybody else got fucked. You know, everybody else who didn't get in right at that certain time for a certain 2 or 3 weeks, we all got screwed. You know, I was in the project for 2 years and took a loss on an $89 device. Sad. But anyway, DEPIN this as a whole is what I'm concerned with. And maybe we're just using, as I open up the program and I'll close the program, open up the program talking about helium and how much we made. Maybe we keep trying to use that same measuring stick and we need to get that out of our mind and just get that measuring stick out. But there are DEPIN projects that people are not ever seeing an ROI or a break even from equipment point. You know, I don't know. One thing I did want to check on, somebody asked me about it. One last thing. I know I keep saying I'm leaving. GeoNet, what happened? When I did my video, GeoNet was up to like 18 cents. Hmm. Anybody know what's going on with this? Damn, are y'all reading this? May closed with a bang. Burns dipped mid-month, then snapped back hard, near $170,000 in the final week alone as GeoNet continues to grow momentum. 20,000 miners, 80% of revenue burned every week. I'll tell y'all, this is a great project. That's how buybacks, and I'll argue with Robin because I know he doesn't care for Burns, and anybody else who wants to argue with me about Burns don't work. Burns work if they're done correctly. If you're buying, because really, let's be honest, it's the buying of the liquidity, but then you have to make sure that the company don't do nothing with those tokens, so you have to burn them. But buybacks and burns work. And I've always said GeoNet is a perfect example of it. Now, when you look at it over the long run, really, this is kind of picking up the same momentum that it had before. I don't know what these little splurges are, but and Anacoy is still not on fucking CoinMarketCap. I don't understand that. Look, there's a Trump Anacoy token. For fuck's sake. Anacoy is another one I didn't cover. I'm in both these projects. Y'all know that. 7 days. Ooh, down 10% in 7 days. Up 7% for the month. Down 35% for 3 months. So maybe Anacoy doesn't have the volume coming in. Anyway, Brandon tells me Anacoy token's a scam. Yeah, like I don't think they did their validating or whatever it is like that. We know it's not a scam. It's a project. It's working. They got customers. They're not a rug pull. They've been around too long. I, I've said this before, and I'm trying not to make this video longer than it already has to be. We know we're 2 hours into this, but I always said that rug pull scam term is thrown around way too much in crypto. When a project goes live a year or two ago and has a slow demo, I'll use demo. People call demo a rug pull. How in the hell is it a rug pull? Nubula is a rug pull. I'll argue that all day. Look at the token. Look what happened right after it got released. And the team disappears off Discord. I'll argue with anybody. Rug pull. But projects fail. Hey, how many, wherever you live at, I don't know where all y'all live at. California for 619. Some people live in Arizona. Some people live in South America. Some people live in Europe, Australia, whatever. Do you not have regular, I call them brick and mortar, but regular businesses around your area that try to make it? And even though they might have a good thing going, they just don't make it. Are they a rug pull? Are they a scam? Because I've always argued that a project that puts very good effort into it and they really are trying, and it's just a slow kind of bleed till they can't handle it anymore, that's just a business not making it. They put the effort into something in DEPIN that there just wasn't enough demand for, or whatever it was. Does anybody else kind of agree with that or see where I'm going with that? it's okay for mom and pop down the street to close business because eventually they couldn't make it no more. Well, how many? I mean, they still got a couple, but they don't have like the home hardware stores like they used to because Home Depot, between Home Depot and Amazon. Hell, these days on Amazon, you buy something at 8 in the morning, you can get it by noon. I had to buy something the other day, um, and it was 9 o'clock at night, and it was gonna be delivered between 4 and 8 in the morning. So by the time my ass got up and was getting about to leave for work, it should be delivered on my front doorstep. You don't think that's hurting the little mom and pop small businesses? Eventually, they have to close down, and that happens in crypto too. But I could be wrong. Robert's got 12 Encore stations and more on the way. Go ahead, boy. I got one. I got one hooked up to a GeoNet device. My other GeoNet device, I cannot get back online. And it sucks because the token's going up. I reset it, I did whatever, and I don't get you're supposed to, like, when you turn it on, you're supposed to get the local SSID out of it to put to be able to put your SSID for Wi-Fi in the area. I can't get to that no matter what. The lights are on, everything's on. I can't get it online. So right now I got one GeoNet online with one Encore, and my other GeoNet just won't go online. And it sucks. It sucks. And having let's see. At 15 cents a piece, you're making 12 a day. Yeah, $1.87. So if my college math fails me, that's gonna be about 94 cents. Is that right? 93 and a half cents after having. Use the price up. Hey, these days in crypto, that's on the high end of the scale. When you start making 6 tokens a day. 6 tokens. What's gonna really hurt you, for those of y'all who are buying stations now, especially MGW 310s, what's gonna hurt you now is July 1st of 2027, and that's what you're making. That's saying the token stays the same. We'll probably be in a full bear market at that point, but GeoNet's gonna burn and do what they gotta do. But what's a GeoNet station going for these days? $700. That's not what I want. 4 years to pay off a GeoNet device, and that's not accurate either, because technically after year 1, the damn thing then goes to from 3 tokens to 1.5 tokens. Then you'd add 23 cents. Then in 27, 28, and then in 2029, you're going to that's what you have to worry about. And burning is one thing, but if there's no real, and I'll argue this with anybody who wants to argue with it, and I'll argue with it for another hour with anybody. If there's not a demand for the token, I don't want to hear about that's less supply, and less supply, you know, causes people, because there's less supply, that's going to make the value go up. That works for Bitcoin because everybody wants Bitcoin, but not everyone wants GeoNet. So we'll see. We'll see. Geo should drop the price to 420. Robert, you're right. It could go up the other way, but we'll see. I argue this all the time with people. I can tell you a lot of tokens that halved that did not go up in price because of that. I think it's just the laziest tokenomics in the world. I'd rather them do what Bitcoin, I mean, what Wingbits does and some of these other projects where they just slowly, like the whole reward scale kind of just goes gradually goes down over linear or whatever the hell it's called over time. But there's no demand for the token. Like, I don't think it, I argue this with all DEPIN projects. This is not me picking on GeoNet. I have always argued this. Your normal, this is why we don't have an alt season anymore. This all ties in together. This isn't just GeoNet or Wingbits or Demo or DEPIN. There's so many effing alt tokens now. People talk about this all the time right now on YouTube and all these other places. This isn't just me. This is people who actually know what the shit they're talking about, saying the same thing. In the last bull markets, bull cycles, we didn't have the amount of alt tokens we have now. And like several people have said, we didn't help ourselves either by coming up with Trump token and all these other stupid meme tokens that 99% of people got their asses washed out with, that gave alt tokens a bad name. Your average investor, whale, retail, whatever you want to call it, is not going online to see what's a demo token cost. I might invest in some demo. No, they have investors, but you don't have a demand for these tokens. Nobody's going online to say, let me go look at what's in the market today to go buy. I'm going to buy some Wingbits. No, they might know about Wingbits and they might want to invest in that project. It might go to it looking for that, but your average investor ain't looking at it. And if there's no demand, think about it. When you take away what GeoNet's buying and get rid of any kind of like bots that just auto buy, how much demand do you really think there is for GeoNet token on the buy side? I'd like to know that. Maybe I can get AI to figure that out. But if there's no demand, burning don't do shit. A shortage of the token or whatever you want to call it, less token available. That's the only way price is affected by just burning or getting rid of tokens or locking tokens. Is if there's a demand and people are worried about not being able to get to that token. That's why it helps Bitcoin. But buying and burning helps a lot. And hey, GeoNet buying and burning will help over time. And maybe those buybacks when they're still burning, you know, there's less tokens getting released, but they're still buying the same amount of tokens. Maybe that helps. But I still think, does anybody else think alts are going up over the next 12 to 18 months? How long do you think GeoNet can hold the fight for as far as buyback and burns? That's just what I try to prepare myself. I always try to prepare myself for the negative and like to be surprised when I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong, but I'm not going to sit here and invest my money in the hopes it does something and it doesn't. And I have voiced my opinion on this, whether or not I'm wrong. And all 14 people right now who are watching this disagree with me. Hey, that's all right. But I've been very concerned. I've always said GeoNet's a great project. You know, up until Wingbits went TGE, before Wingbits went TGE, I felt more solid about that project, GeoNet, than any other project at the time. But I've always said the yearly halvies are going to kill it. That's going to be the end of it. Not this year, not next year, but eventually, because what happens is just like helium. Devices start breaking. I'm not going to buy another helium device to replace my helium device that crapped out on Main Street last week when I'm making literally 2 cents a day. When Roberts GeoNet station in 18 months breaks, he has to make the conscious decision he's in love with. So he might say, screw it, I'm still going to invest in it. But the average person who is mining GeoNet in 18 months, when their device is broken or it breaks, like mine is right now, they got to make a decision depending on what the token price is. They have to make a decision. Is it worth me buying a device that's going to take me 4 years, possibly never paying off before it breaks in 2-3 years? And I think majority of people, not all of them, but majority of people are going to say, this isn't the best investment for me. I can take $400 or $500 and just buy the GeoNet token if I really like this project, right? And I think that's what's going to hurt this project in the long run, is eventually as devices break, people move, people pass away, get married, they're not into crypto anymore, whatever happens to them. If you don't have fresh blood coming in with new devices, what's going to happen? Hey, look, I can make the same argument for Wingbits. I love Wingbits. Y'all know that. But I can make the same argument. Hey, look at what's happened to this token price. I don't know what the average, I can't do the math because I don't know what the average cost is. I mean, what's the average? Does anybody know what the average station is bringing in for Wingbits? Was it like 70 tokens? You know, because I have some that are literally bringing in 20 or 30, and I got some that are bringing in nearly 200, depending on where they at. So if it's 70, and what we had 0.00365. They're making 25 cents a day. What's the station going for? It's on sale for $475. So you have plus $20 shipping and tax. So you say 500. Let's just say 500. No, that's wrong. 2,000 days to break even, divided by 365. You're looking at 5 years to break even on a Wingbits device. Feel warm or fuzzy yet? Yes, we have 6,000 stations right now. I got 3 offline now. One is a carrier issue. The other one, the guy has rebooted it. It's a host station. He's rebooted it, checked it, can't get it back online for nothing. It's probably fraud. What you do? Now, that's not going to cost me $500 to replace. That's a DIY station. So I can sell them a little potato for $45. Knowing my luck, the SDR is fried too. That's another $45. That's $50 right there. Looking at $100. Still looking at, I'm still looking at a year. Because I don't think he's making 70. Way it was, because Corpus Christi's packed now, because I've mentioned it too many times on Wing, but I like to say that's why it is. But even that, it's over a year for me to possibly break even. That's if the price stays at what it is now. I'm worried about that. Right now, this is good for me because of my bonus stations, but in my bonus points, but it's something that you have to be concerned with these DEPIN projects. You know, if this is where I fail at math, but you know, if you spend does anybody think you're gonna make $3 a day in 4D Sky? $1. Do you think you can make $1.55 a day and break even in, you know, 2 years? You feel that warm and fuzzy? I hate to be the bearer. Like, I know I'm making everybody sorrowed and stuff before they leave here, but I'm just trying to. This is just reality check time with DEPIN. Period. Like I said, I'm doing this because, you know, same thing, but even same thing with Mass Chain. making $1.64 a day. Do you think it's going to do double what Wingbits is doing with customers that have signed contracts? We know what they're bringing in. This is just math you got to do and ask yourself: am I okay with buying this device? And hey, as long as I'm bringing in income, maybe Santa left me a gift card, and money's not coming out my pocket. But I've had people tell me, and this is something I bring up occasionally, is that maybe it's just better to take $600 and buy it in the token. But you know what, though? I can tell you this. I remember first hearing that about helium like 2 years ago. People like, I still want to get in helium. I'd like to, and what would people say? And just buy the token. Don't go buy a device for $150, $200. Go buy the token. If you would have bought HNT 2 years ago, you would have did better buying the station and then having the pie now that you could do something with. Possibly sell the pie on eBay. Let's see what the fuck this is going for. Bobcat, you can't do anything with. I got a stack of them. $70 or best offer. See, this right here to me is worth the pie. Pi 4 in there. You go buy a brand new Pi 4 right now on Amazon. I think they're $65. With this, you're getting the plug and the pie. So, if you could offer this dude, it's $13. You go offer this dude like $60 and he takes it. It ain't got nothing to do with helium. But that's not a bad deal. Brand new, $75. Freedom 5 gateway. Like this dude thinks we still in helium 3-4 years ago. Is there anything we can do with these? Like, I see all these ports and I just get excited thinking I can go hack it and do something. But see, like this, you buy one of them little $24, CM4 boards? I got 2 Wingbits DIY devices running off of Syncrobits right now. They work. Brand new, still in the box. Like some of these prices I shouldn't be giving away right now. See, this is brand new, still in the box, $45. Even with the $25 device you got to buy to make it a real pie, $36. Here's 619's Nebra. But see, this is the outdoor box. But $700? Smoking crack, dude. Get the... Look, I'm not even showing y'all the damn screen. Look at that. Nebra, Syncrobit, $37. Bobcat, $46. This is the Syncrobit I was talking about. Brand new, $75. This is brand new for $70. Like I said, this has got a brand new Pi 4 in it. Brand new Pi 4. Since Kevin 4 gigawatt pods, guess what? I have I have one like right here. I'm ready to pull out. My Wingbits. I'm sorry, my lip potato that was in Grand Isle. Did I said in my video? I sweat my brains out trying to fix it. Luckily, I had one of these in my truck from taking down the helium because I wanted the antenna. Luckily, I had one in it. I couldn't get the other one online for nothing. Even hooked directly into it, it just would not connect for some reason. Something happened to it. Wi-Fi or hardwire, it would not, Ethernet, it would not connect the lip potato. Yanked it out of here. Took the SD card out, stuck it in my laptop, put Pi OS on it, whatever version they're up to now. Put the card back in. I took the fan and stuff off so I could in the helium card out so I could save power, because those geosigners are a power sucker. Boom, it's online. Running, no problems. I think I had about 15 of these. I bet half of them are now running Wingbit stations, running with mass chain and running everything. I'll take that all day. Take it all day. Oh, Robert, look, bro, I wish you help. I don't want you to think I'm down on you. Like, you know, I just know that in my history, trying to be in it for the long look, I told y'all, you can learn from my mistakes. I'm sitting there putting myself out for everybody to know. Do I really need to show y'all the image again of me trying to play entropy for long game? Look at Wingbits right now. What that token's worth. And I didn't sell right away. And where I'm at now with it. I'm adding all these Wingbits tokens every day. My wallet balance is going down. I hold on to projects and tokens way too long. Look what happened with me and Helium. You know, so I think it's right that if as soon as a token is released by a project, everybody wants to dump it and sell it at the highest. Hell no, that's not the right way to do it. That's not the right thing to do. But it's because of that you're almost forced to do it. Is it right? No. But this isn't charity work. I can support a project and still want to make some money. It doesn't make me a dirty person. It's not like I'm on here pumping, dumping like BitBoy. Speaking of crackheads. Right. $1,400 just for the indoor CBR antenna. Boy, how that worked out for everybody. Helium don't even own the mobile shit no more. Hey, your miles may vary. Look, I'm not here to knock anybody. I hope whoever's buying a 4D Sky or two 4D Skies or anything like that for $2,000, I wish you the best luck in the world. I do. But 4D Sky is going to need investors. They're going to need somebody to invest in. When the token gets released, depending on what CEX they want to get on, they got to make a deal with the devil. And you have to be prepared that whoever's holding those tokens in the beginning can sell. You're going to have some whales selling, just like Wingbits did. And even though they held out for a while before they did buys and burns and let, like I told everybody I thought was going to happen, let some people sell, you still got to deal with that. And guess what? Mass chain's going to have to deal with it. What's the other one we just talked about? That they're going to have to deal with it too. 40 Scott's going to deal with it, and Halo Wave, they're going to have to deal with it. Brusho, if they ever go full TG, they're going to deal with it. People are going to dump their token. The longer you wait in beta, I've always said that's another thing about like knock on Wingbits while we're just sitting here all chit-chatting because none of us can go to sleep. Understand that they wanted to make sure that it was perfect, but the longer you were in beta, the longer people were accumulating tokens, the more people got 5% bonuses. And I kept telling everybody this was going to happen with Wingbits. Everybody was going to sell as much as they could in the beginning and sell. And it happened. And I still wasn't ready for it. I put that it was going to be worth 1%, 1 cent in my mind. I saw it going above 1 cent. And I'm like, oh, it's going to settle down around 1 cent. They're going to do some buyback and burns. It'll be at 1 cent. I sold $50 yesterday. I don't get paid till tomorrow because my payday's on Friday. My daughter, I know I'm telling you way too much business, but my daughter had some medicine that need to be picked up, and one of her medicines is quite expensive. And instead of me digging somewhere else for it, I'm like, you know what? I'm selling $50 worth of, $60 worth of that didn't even cover the medicine. That just helped me with the medicine. And I felt dirty doing it. Why? I don't know why. Listen, maybe I have BitBoyitis. Maybe watching BitBoy for all those years, and him getting attacked constantly, I just feel bad selling entropy and selling Wingbits and selling whatever tokens I sell because like I don't want to ever be accused of that shit. But I told everybody I was selling Wingbits. And not only that, but if you remember, I also sold Wingbits back when they had that pre-sale at 0.005, which people complained that was too low. I look like a fucking genius right now. You know. Yep. All right, boys and girls. It is now 9:30. We're not going to make this a 3-hour. Look, somebody wanted me, or I've had people make comments that I need to, like, after the live's done, I need to kind of change it and put this in the chapters and put in the description and in the chapters what we discussed. These lives are all over the fucking place. There's no way I could ever do that. I need AI. I need the Terminator to do some kind of summary. I wonder if they got that. You can like summarize what the hell we talked about. SkyX. Yeah, what happened to that? What happened to solar? Wasn't there a solar X2? The one where you put the solar panel, there's a solar panel you can put on your roof. And it was a crypto project. I remember that. I think they filed right next to DeFi. What's that? How's that commercial go? The insurance commercial? We know it. We know certain things because we've seen certain things, or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah. What happened to Solar X? Anybody? Harnessing renewable energy. Amir Aristas at Solar X. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We should have learned from Planet Watch. You're right. You're right. SkyX is dead to me. Yes. So did SkyX ever get released? No, well, he says he has 2 running, so SkyX must have finally. So I've always said it looked just like Nubla. Maybe they did the same rug pull with Nubla. I don't know. Um, you know, it's getting too late. I can't think. I want to name another project. What's the project that had their hands in everything? At one time, they had a miner for everything, for air, for water, for satellite mining and ADSB. What was that one called? That's the one that they wanted everybody to start investing in if you wanted to get your returns and shit. But they had a miner for everything. I can't think of it. It wasn't Planet Watch. It was the other one. Um, they were selling the reused computers and stuff like that. Fry. Thank you, Fry. Yeah, what happened to Fry? Anybody still like that? I mean, listen, we can sit here all night and talk about the projects that didn't make it. So we concentrate on the projects that did. Yeah, some I'm disappointed in, and some I'm disappointed in myself. And I will always say I'm disappointed. If I had to say one project that I was the most disappointed in, but talking about on this channel, the most excluding DeFly because that was a lifetime ago, it's got to be Nubla. The writing was on the wall. Me as a weather geek, who's in emergency management, who knows what we need to look for during hurricane, like every spotlight was shining on that red flag, and just looked right past it. And like, we're full bore. Everybody likes this project. It's got to be good. It's got certain partners that they claimed, and I'm disappointed. Like I'm that one, and Jay Styles isn't here, so I can say this, but he warned me about entropy, and I didn't want to hear it. And he kept trying to warn people in Discord, and I had to like tone, hey man, you're mod here, tone it down, tone it down. And he warned me all day about entropy, and I didn't want to hear it. These dudes are so cool, man. One thing I do want to do a video on. I had somebody send me some write ups on what's it actually cost to bring a device from if you from what it costs in parts when you start with the raw parts to manufacturing to the R&D, the shipping to advertising. While I'm not going to sit here and 100% defend these people, don't take it the wrong way. Some projects are still absurd. Some projects really ain't making it anything off the devices. It was a very interesting write up, and one day I just want to do a video on it. I know I'm gonna get a lot of feedback, and people ain't gonna believe it. I mean, the facts are there; it's in black and white. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Again, I'm not justifying any of these ones that were in my hand. I think this one for $80. At least that's what $89. That's what I got these for. I think, even though, don't be wrong, I know it doesn't cost $89 to make this, but I think by the time you do the R&D on it and all the shit you have to do on it, pay for the helium subscription, this one ain't that bad. I ain't gonna say that about this one. Yeah. Robert, I'm not gonna even argue with you on that one. Trust me, I showed y'all my wallet. If y'all saw my video, and I showed y'all my wallet. I can't defend it. I can't. I think I was the only one that was not selling their entropy in the end. But $619, I don't know if I agree with that statement. What I do find is the distributors put a shitload into the advertising. Helium deploy. I've seen more ads on Facebook recently from helium deploy than I've ever saw before. I don't remember seeing those kind of ads. And then you have to pay us whatever percentage they work out, depending on how big your channel is, 3%, 5%, 7%, 10% on when y'all use our codes and different things like that. I mean, think about it. It's 7 to 10%, 5%, depending on what YouTube channel you are. But if they're paying a YouTube channel, for a Wingbits device, that's $50 that they're cutting out right there. That shows you how much markup they have to have in it. Plus the advertising and all of the stuff. Look, I'm about capitalism. Companies need to make profit. I'm never gonna attack a company for making profit. Some of them it's a little too rich, too much. Oh, Fry is a mess. So Robert, is Fry still even around? Like, is there still a Fry miner? I know it's been reiterated a couple of times. I know they don't have all the different, like they had like 8 or 9 different devices, if not more, at one point. Back when we were really starting up with DEPIN, after Helium, before DFly, Wingbits and shit, we had Chirp and we had Fry. And I remember Fry having all these different devices. Like, it was crazy. It was always different devices. I remember doing videos on it. So they are still around. Wow. Making anything off of it? Anything at all? So, all right. They make some big changes. Oh man, Bitcoin's going down again. I'm missing out on my shorts. God damn. They're making a killing tonight on Cardano. The news was right there. The news was there. See, and I'll go open up a short right now, and I'm gonna get hosed. I mean, how everybody give me a prediction. How low can you think Cardano's gonna go? I bet right now. I bet if I did this, and I bet if I open up this short right now, Cardano would start going to the moon. Guarantee it. Like that. All right. They're eliminating a lot of miners they sold. All right, boys and girls. Well, I really, really, really am going this time. I swear to God, it's 9:50. I appreciate everybody. Make sure you hit the like button your way out. I didn't see any ads. I don't know if y'all got ads. I probably even get paid for the night, but that ain't what it's about. I get so little from ads. I get like literally like $1 to $2 a video, depending on how long we talk. So I don't know if y'all saw ads. I didn't get a single ad up here. Who knows? YouTube could be broken, but that's not what it's all about. Y'all know I'll sit here and talk as long as y'all are talking. But I appreciate it. Thanks everybody. Try to keep on a decent schedule. Monday videos, Thursday lives, until we figure out what's going on with crypto and stuff. Stay in my Discord. At least visit every now and then. Not a lot to talk about, but don't be a stranger. Yeah. See y'all later and have a good night. And stay dry if you're in the South with that rain coming. See y'all later.